Hello, and welcome back to the Cove with more Frostpunk on the Edge. Well, we've made some interesting decisions. We have promptly kicked out New London's administration. We're severing ties. They demanded all of the food that we just received from the hot springs while we had absolutely nothing at home, and that was the final straw. We're done with them. We're going to do our own thing, and we will see just where that lands us. They've sent us a bit of a threat, so we have about 20 days to sort of figure out what's going to happen. And yeah, we will have to deal with that confrontation in a little while. But in the meantime, we're going to see if we can find some friends, and we're going to set up ourselves as best as possible for whatever comes our way. So, to do that, we have gone ahead and sent off a little bit of help to the hot springs. They have already started sending us some food in return, and I think we're even going to be able to go ahead and help them out a little bit more in the very near future. So at the moment, we do have an infirmary being researched, and I think that is rather good. That should take us about 5 hours, I think, give or take, with my current estimations. So that is probably something that we do need to address. We will need to gain more steel. I think what we're going to go ahead and do is, I do want another steam core so we can make that infirmary, so we're going to go ahead and use a little bit of timber. It's a bit of an expensive thing, but it will get us slightly further. We'll go ahead and do this. We'll wait for one more steam core, and then at that point we're going to go ahead and switch over to steel so we can maintain our research trajectory. So let's go ahead and speed up some time. Let's see. Oh, wait a second. Before I forget, was there anything else we wished to do? I don't think so. Our coal gain isn't fantastic. We'll only be losing 180, so that'll take us back down to 120 by the end of day. I think that's acceptable. We should be fine. Yeah, we have a few more workers coming on in a couple of hours, some extra workers and engineers, both of which will be fantastic. We'll definitely focus on some more tech as well as staffing our infirmary as best as possible. But it looks like the temperature drops in the meantime, so hopefully we'll be alright. Okay, well, a windy beach. It turns out that there is no city in the hole. Part of the ice and snow-covered beach was carried away by the winds of extreme force, which exposed bare rock underlying it. Alright, well, let's search the area nonetheless. Fool's Gold. This is just a depression reaching all the way to the bare rock created by violent winds. One of the more striking testaments to the power of nature's forces unleashed in the passage of the Great Storm. We now have 2 more sites discovered, Tesla City and a shattered dreadnought. Okay, so yeah, carry on, there's nothing to do there. I suppose the shattered dreadnought could have some possibility, some extra steel. Tesla City might have some steam cores, that could be very nice. I think at this point it's probably, this is the furthest from the direction we really need to travel, so it's probably more efficient to get this dealt with. So let's go ahead and send our team out over there. Then we can rotate it back around and then head back. Yeah, I think that's going to be the most efficient use of our time. These scouts are escorting the workers. They'll be back in 6 hours, and then I think we're going to head down to the ice caverns. I think that will be our next best guess. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that all goes. Unfortunately, it looks like our cookhouse is disabled. Let's go ahead and turn on the heater there. That's going to be crucial for us to have some food. Let's go... I think we turn on that heater there. That's going to be rather crucial. Yeah, that keeps everything nice and toasty. Yeah, that's going to be much, much better. In fact, I'm even tempted to turn off that heater there, but again, there's not much we can do. Yeah, that'll cost us a little bit more, so I know that we said we wouldn't have too much. So what's that? Now it goes down to about, what, 250? No. Hang on a second. Minus 44, that's 30, so yeah, that's 270 coal will be consumed. Technically have enough. You know what? Yeah, we're going to keep it as is. Got more workers, we'll be able to fill up on the coal. Yeah, this is fine. This is going to be fine. It's just running with some very, very thin margins. But we do definitely need to get this up and running. We need some food here. We have managed to deal with our hunger issues, which is really nice to see. We're going ahead and preparing standard meals. We don't want to use the sawdust if we can avoid it. Yeah, it's just a little unfortunate because I'm hoping somehow we'll unlock the Book of Laws ourselves, since New London was the one who was giving us our legal system, for lack of a better word, our structure to our society. So if we can reclaim power over that, that would be rather nice, and we can start making some decent progress. But, you know, until then, we're just going to have to stay with what we have. Okay, well, either way, here come those scouts with those extra workers. That is very nice timing. Let's go ahead and send a few of those workers to the coal mine. Oh, and I seem to have forgotten about those steam cores. So I guess we're going to switch over there, where we're going to lose a little bit of time here. That's my bad. We could have done better, but you know what? It is what it is. Let's send a couple of extra workers to the sawmill. We'll send a couple of workers, engineers to the cookhouse. In fact, you know what? We'll send as many as possible. And then, I guess at this point, we're just kind of waiting on a little bit of stuff. So I guess we go ahead and just speed up some time. Yep, and there's the infirmary. Tech tree. We're not going to make progress here, are we? No, we've only got 11 steel. Yeah, bother, that was my bad there. We shouldn't have gone quite so fast. But it is what it is. Let's see, less 1 coal per hour. Seems 2 coal per hour when running, so that's not a bad upgrade. Efficient burners, 33% less coal, that'd be really nice. They are our biggest consumer of coal. Outside of that, what can we do? Resource depot, charcoal kiln. We could work on the mixed crew. Allows army warehouse workers to retrieve steel and steam cores at the same time, although less efficiently. At the moment, I think we can probably handle the micromanagement, and if that gives us better use of time, I think that's probably more desirable. I don't really want to go that if we can avoid it. Or at least not until we're in a much better position, and then at that point, well, yeah, that could be less of an issue. Yeah, and we can't afford anything here. Okay, so you know what? We're going to have to let that time run down for a second. We'll lose about another hour, another 40 minutes, give or take. Half an hour or something. Yeah, however it goes. And then in the next hour, we should be able to pick up our next tech. I think we'll see how much we have. Maybe it'll be 20. Oh, right. We also have housing to deal with. Ooh, my. I did not think about that, did I? We also want a infirmary as well. Okay, we're going to have a few things to deal with. Let's see. What do bunkhouses cost us? 10 steel and 20 wood. We could start with just a couple of houses, a couple of tents, just so nobody is freezing. We could build 3 of those. That would technically work. Can't pop that out over there either. Probably are going to take down that medical post when we put in the infirmary, so that's not the best spot for us either. You know what, we'll go ahead and build 1, we'll go ahead and build 2, and then I think 3? Yeah, you know what, we'll go ahead and pop that there. Yeah, there's worse trouble to have, and you know what, we have excess workers right now, so it's not the end of the world. That should all be looked after, and then it's a little bit cold, but it's only timber. You know what, we'll wait till the temperature warms back up and then we'll use this gathering post. Yeah, it's not worth them getting sick unnecessarily. So either way, let's grab the scouts and let's send them down in this direction. That was the plan. 1 day and 7 hours. Oh boy, that's a long time. 1 day and 6. There's some more survivors out at Nanson's Stormwatch, but we can collect them later. Yeah, let's head to the ice caverns. I'm thinking if there's going to be another settlement, it's probably going to be further down here. Who knows? Maybe it's behind the mountains. That would also potentially be a good break from the storm. Or even inside here. Yeah, work your way around Yeah, because if the wind continues to blow from that direction, that could be a nice, safe place for them to hide. But either way, we'll have to figure it out as time goes by. Let's just see how, yeah, our steel consumption goes in the meantime. Up to 19, and then... Let's see, is it going to be 20 or 25? Come on, any second, we need them to hurry up. No? Oh, there it is, 27. Okay, well, you know what? That'll have to do. What to choose? What to choose? Infirmary mechanization could be good for the infirmary upgrade, but right now we have plenty of workers, so I'm not too concerned about that. We could go on the steam coal mine. That wouldn't be a bad idea either. We do have the steam core, and we could happily get ahead on coal. Heating wise, we could also go for more efficient burners. In fact, you know what? Let's check out our economy right now. Okay, so we're losing about 100 per day. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, unfortunately, what's going on with these efficiencies? Oh, it's really... They're going to work. You know what? Let's quickly pause these buildings. Make sure that they're not doing any of those silly shenanigans. There we go. That kicks up our numbers a fair portion. Okay, that's probably going to need a little bit of time to readjust. Yeah, I think what we're going to do, we're going to work on the coal. Coal is going to be the most important thing for us right about now. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best thing for us. I would like some better healthcare insulation as well, but the infirmary has an upgrade to its insulation anyway, so it's better than the medical post. Yeah, we'll just have to stay with what we've got right now, I dare say. Yeah, and we'll make sure that we have more coal. Either that or maybe, hang on a second, improved blowers. They take 10 hours. This takes 10 hours as well. Let's see, browsers 216. If we reduce that by 33%, that'll be 66, maybe, you know what, we'll call it 70 coal per day. Yeah, not enough to swing in our favor, so let's just go ahead and go for the coal mine tech. There we go. Alright, sooner we get that done, the better. I would like to go ahead and do an emergency shift or some kind of extended shift, but we did tell the people that they could rest for 3 days. So we're going to have to let that be for now. We don't want to upset the people. That's done in just under 2 days. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it could be worse. It could be worse. Alright, and let's see. Now that that's going along, does that change the output? No, it does not. Alright, well, it is what it is. We should be fine. We'll have enough to make up for it. We'll have... how many hours left in research? 6 hours. Okay, so fairly early tomorrow we should be able to switch over, and that will deal with all of our troubles. Yeah, that'll be fine. In fact, is there anywhere that we can turn off a heater? No, let's turn it off at the cookhouse. That's not too necessary. And then... yeah, we're just going to have to get to everything else as it happens. We could turn down the infirmary, but again, we don't want those engineers to get sick, so I guess we're going to have to stay with what we've got. Yeah. Slight predicament, but it is what it is. Alright, end of day. Okay, so, you know what? I think what we do is we try... let's see, 34 steel. Could upgrade, what, 2-3 houses? Yeah, 10 steel. So we could do that. That'd be a little bit warmer. That's not bad. That would take them from chilly to livable. That could be nice. Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to go with. Does that cost an extra bit of timber as well? 12 wood. So it's slightly less effective than building them straight out. Right, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll cancel the construction of these. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to cancel the construction of these and build the bunkhouses directly instead of upgrading. It's slightly more efficient as far as our resources are concerned, and so I suppose that is worthwhile. We don't really need the infirmary at this stage. Not too crucially, so that'll be fine. We'll get those built. Yeah, free time. Yeah, that'll be all well and good. Alright, either way, let's go ahead and check in on that dreadnought. There could be things there. All we found are pieces of metal trapped in a thick layer of ice. It looks like some terrible force shattered a large metal structure here. Okay, so let's explore it further. The USS Prometheus. Between the shattered elements of the ship's structure, we find an engraved nameplate of USS Prometheus. This is all that remains of one of the dreadnoughts used to found Tesla City. The Great Storm has buried it under such a thick layer of ice that we have no hope of uncovering it. Perhaps a spring thaw will allow us to get to it someday. Well, we'll take what we can. That's worth something. Still, I do think gaining food is probably best for us, so we'll keep moving on. We won't go for the survivors at this stage. Let's head over to Tesla City. Oh, and I think I just remembered, if we had kept the extra steel, we could have gone ahead and sent off the helping hands to the hot springs. You know what? I can't believe we're doing this again. We're going to go ahead and play around with all that. We'll just go ahead and do those tents still. Oops, that was in the wrong spot. And we will go ahead and send a crew to the hot springs. I think that's something that's going to be really important. We want them to be able to have an excess of food so we can gain more in return. Again, at the moment, what they're handing us is what they have left over after feeding their own people. So let's send some workers, and that should be fine. We'll send them off. That'll take approximately another 12 hours for them to reach there. Yeah, all in all, it could be a whole stack worse for us. Oh, and it looks like we've even made 2/3 of our way around. In fact, I'm guessing this is our level of trust or something along those lines with their okay, yeah, settlement development. Okay, not bad. Alright, Outpost administration, are we free? Now that New London no longer controls our affairs, many of our people say they feel free for the first time in their lives. True, we lost their guidance and support, but we gained independence. We don't have to do their bidding and ask permission to cook soup. We can pass our own laws and decide what to do. There is a petition to change the name of our settlement since we are no longer an outpost. Should we do it? Yeah, you know what? I think that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's change our... transform our settlement since we are now independent. Let's go ahead and do it. This is a sign of our declaration of our own free will. Let's go ahead and do this. I believe in that. That seems like a great plan. And we are now northward. I think that's a good enough name. Let's go ahead and confirm. And now, we have access to the Book of Laws. All right, fantastic. Let's go ahead and look at what we can do to adapt. So at the moment, we have the food additives. We can't change that. It's already been signed. There's nothing we can do about that. So we're just going to have to stick with standard meals. It's a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. We can potentially go ahead and work on either a fighting arena, maybe some child shelters. That would also be nice. Take us towards engineer apprentices. That could be very good. Yeah, permanent hope bonuses as well. That's not bad. We haven't had any deaths, so we don't need to worry about the cemetery or corpse disposal. We don't need to worry about radical treatment or sustain life. I think, yeah, let's go for a child shelter. That'll keep them warm. That'll free up some housing possibilities. Yeah, I think this is going to be the best way forwards. And we can then capitalize on their apprenticeships in the future. So let's sign that in. That is excellent. Unfortunately, we are one steel away from being able to build one straight away. So that is going to have to be what it is. We'll get to that in due time. Yeah, but until then, it's not too bad. Alright, so let's see. Hope is doing well. One unpopular decision. Yeah, that's fine. And temporary discontent. Yeah, that is also more than agreeable. I think I'm happy with that. That seems fine by me. We have one hungry person. Oh, turns out a couple, but you know what? We have enough food rations. That is all that we need to worry about. The fact that we're able to send for that second level of settlement development at the hot springs is going to be phenomenal. Yeah, that's going to be really, really nice for us. Alright, so either way, let's race through till the end of tonight. That should be fine. That'll leave us with just over 1 day of not being able to do extended shifts. It's not ideal, but it could be worse. Coal-wise, I think we should be safe. We have both of these running. You know what? Oh, we also do have a bunkhouse there. Okay, I was thinking that maybe we turned that off, but I don't really want that to drop too far either. No, let's just drop that for a bit. Oh no, that's rather chilly. Okay, you know what? Far too chilly. We'll leave that be. We won't play around with those for now. But I think we should be fairly well set here. The steam coal mine, that's only going to take a few hours tomorrow. That should give us a very huge increase. It goes from 240 all the way up to 600. That is a remarkable step up in output, which I am well and truly alright with. Let's see. Temperature's still got a little bit of time before that increases again. That'll be nice when that does. Then we'll go ahead and finish up with this gathering post. I think we're also just a little bit off as far as steel is concerned to build another workshop. Try and make the most of those engineers. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll build one of those first. We'll follow up with the child shelter maybe a little bit later in the day. We'll have some excess workers, so I'm not really too concerned about doing a couple of building projects. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. But first, let's check in on the hot springs. Looks like they are communicating. Your people want to build a medical post in our settlement. It's not necessary, in our opinion. We have our ways of healing. The aura of the springs is a cure in itself. We don't trust engineers around their mechanical way of thinking, and we'd rather not have them around. You can help us in many other ways. We need it. Medical post will be unlocked. Hot springs will be displeased. Or, as you wish, they will be pleased, but discontent will rise slightly. Well, you know what? Considering that we have just broken free from some overbearing overlords, I don't think it makes a whole stack of sense to force this upon them. We didn't like it when it happened to us, and we won't do the same to them. I think it would make a lot of sense, and we should go ahead and put in a medical post. But for now, I think letting them, yeah, if they really need it, they can surely ask for it again. All right, we'll deal with the discontent on our end, as you wish. We'll let them do that. All right, so discontent has risen a little bit. That's a little bit annoying. It looks like we've got a couple more sick people. It's not the best, but it could be worse. Actually, hang on a second. How long have we got? 7 hours? Okay, we will have coal. Ooh. For a second then I was concerned about what kind of a scenario we're about to be in. In fact, we may even need to turn off a couple of heaters if we're going to make it with an upgrade as well. That'll stop any coal from coming in. Yeah, that's not going to get any higher, so we have less than 6 hours to start producing. Let's see. You know what? I think we'll see how it goes. We'll I'm just curious about whether we turn off some of these heaters just to prevent any particular sappage of our of our resources, because we know when those heaters turn on, it's going to cost an arm and a leg to keep everything up and running. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky, but I think we can do it. We just need to keep a very careful eye on the research. 5 hours. That's going to take 6 hours? 4 hours? Okay, we need to turn off some coal. That's not ideal. Let's go. We're turning... what do we turn off? I think for now we go ahead and turn off 2 of these. The housing's not ideal to turn off, but that's going to save us a fair bit of coal. And then I think we can also go ahead and we'll turn off that one as well. That should... yeah, that'll buy us a few hours of things. We might get maybe a little bit more sickness, but it'll be fairly negligible at best. And then once we do have the upgrade installed, we will be perfectly well suited. Yeah, in fact, we've got a little bit of a coal gain. Hang on a second, have we swung it? Oh, we've swung it in the other direction. Okay, well, you know what? If that's the case, let's turn that heater back on. Still ahead of the schedule. You know what? I think that's going to be good enough. Yeah, it just is what it is. We'll let that be. We're still gaining a little bit more than what we currently have. We're not going to lose out too much with these houses. No one's really occupying them right now. That will be fine. Let's see. How are these guys going with their timber? They've got about 1 day left before we need to chop it down and move that forwards. Okay, so we do have to worry about that. These guys, they're working with timber. Sorry, with the steel. We may need to go ahead and turn this on for a little bit of extra timber. We are getting fairly low. Now what we have the workers, we probably should... Actually, oh, that's right. We were going to build a new workshop. Also a child shelter. Let's go ahead and pop the child shelter. I guess over there works fairly well. That it will be within range when needed. Let's go... Though these things are normally fairly warm. Let's just double check. That is a base level heating of 2. Same as a bunkhouse. Okay, so it's not the best. It could certainly be worse. Let's just leave that there. That'll be fine. That'll fulfill our promise. Let's also go ahead and we will produce ourselves a new workshop. Let's send that over. I guess that's technically out of range. Yeah, maybe we could put in another building instead. That would fit a bit easier. And then... You know what? For now, we'll just leave it. We'll get to that in... we'll get to that in time. It'll be fine. Oh, wait a second. We can go ahead and start making these. Yeah, the medical posts. Let's get rid of them. And build up the infirmary. We should probably have done that already. So either way, we'll go ahead and get those torn down. That'll be fine. Got plenty of people to do this, so it'll only take an hour or two. Let's see what's happening. Tesla City. Okay. Yes, Tesla City once stood here. A testament to technology, human pride, and the power of nature, written in silence and stillness. Wood, steel, and food rations. That's what we're talking about, food rations. That's what we want. Okay, a city of rats. Oh dear. The city, founded by a genius inventor, once protected by some kind of electric dome, fell into complete ruin. The most valuable resources here were taken out before the Great Storm, and now only packs of hungry rats roam the streets. It may be worth searching this place again, but we must watch out not just for rats, but for anything really. This place looks dangerous. Huh. Okay, so we could search it for resources, and if we're lucky, we could get a lot of extras. I think we leave for now. I don't want to risk their haul. They have a whole stack of stuff with them, so we'll just leave them. We'll come back for it. Yeah, not worth risking the lives of our scouts. Yeah, if we didn't have... it's not as much as I thought. Maybe it could have been worth it. But you know what? I don't want to lose what people we do have. So let's send them over to Mirror Lake. That seems to be the next spot on the list. You guys are working towards there. That is fine. Alright, let's go ahead and see about... Ooh, passing another law. Alright, well then, you know what? That is exactly what we'll do. Let's go ahead and get these engineer apprentices. Let's start working with this. So that will mean... Education is the key to our future. Let's teach our children engineering so they can help with new designs. So we can pass another law in a day and a half. Children from shelters will help at workshops, speeding up research. Absolutely, that is what we're doing. Now let's see, what is our potential... Well, it hasn't really changed, not yet, but I'm... Oh, of course, the child shelter still needs to finish being built. That does make a little bit of sense. In the meantime, let's go ahead and add an infirmary. Where can we... Oh, you know what? That seems to be the right space. So you know what? We'll put that there. Yeah, that'll have to do. We can't really put that anywhere else. And then that means we can open up a new workshop, and we'll put that there. Yeah, that works out rather well. That works out rather well indeed. Alright, so we'll let that happen. There is our steam coal mine researched. Let's go ahead and construct that. Oh, wait, we can't afford that? 40 steel? Oh, aye. We were kind of counting on that getting done today. You know what? This will get us... Do we pause on the infirmary? Oh, that's not ideal. Questions. Yeah, I think we have to cancel that right now. That'll give us enough steel to work on that. That'll cost us... How much? 32 steel, so that leaves us with 18. We also have tech to worry about, but again, we need more coal, so this is a non-negotiable. We'll go ahead and do that, and you know what? Let's also cancel the workshop. It's, yeah, more tech is nice, but being able to research something in the meantime is more important. Let's go ahead and work on... I forgot, we could go for coal mining optimization. We could go for the steam sawmill. That could potentially be good. We could also head towards... Can't do the infirmary mechanization. We're 2 steel shy there. Cookhouse insulation. Oh, you know what? Healthcare insulation. That could also be rather nice. Yeah. Housing would also be rather good, but again, we can't afford that right now. I think... Yeah, we'll let the factory stay where it is right now. We could technically start to work on that, but I don't know if that's necessarily the most important thing. At the moment, that only gives us access to prosthetics. Maybe we can find an automaton and learn how to make them. Maybe we need blueprints for that, but right now I think that'll be fine. We don't need the efficient burners. We're going to be well and truly set with the extra coal. So I think that means we'll just end up doing... let's go for cookhouse insulation. We can't really afford for that place to get too cold. That'll be fine. Yeah, it's one or the other. No, let's just go for the healthcare. We can't afford for our medics to get sick. That would just be a little bit of an unfortunate reality if that were to be the case. Yeah, we'll finish building this child shelter. That'll at least give us a little bit of a research boost, so we'll get some things done quicker. We should still be producing a decent amount of steel, so that means we'll gain... Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll gain enough to build it by the end of day. The child shelter is ready and the children are safe inside. People can work without worrying that something will happen to their kids. Hope rises. Oh, that is fantastic. That is very nice. And now we're at... Nope, not 130%. Oh, we may need to turn on the heater there. We'll have to figure this out, but either way. The fever. Okay. Sir, a fever is spreading among our people in Hot Springs, but the locals refuse to treat them in medical posts. They say that the fever is merely a consequence of our unnatural lifestyle and offer some herbal remedies. We could threaten these nuts and make them listen to hope, or the outbreak will end on its own. Will be exhausted, they will be displeased, or let's hope that it passes. This is kind of ridiculous. Like, realistically, if there's a fever running through, they might end up losing a few people. I want them to see reason, but at the same time too, if they have been separated from a lot of people for a long time, it's not uncommon for people to get sick. You see it with kids when they start going to kinder or like a new school or whatever happens. Like, I gotta always remember that growing up, you know, the younger ones are all around and they have bad hygiene, and then sure enough, you know, because they haven't seen each other in forever, they get a little bit ill. It only takes a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks. You know what? Let's hope that it'll pass. Hot Springs will be pleased. Discontent will rise on our end, but we can manage that. We're going to let them do their thing. I don't like it, but it is what it is. Yeah. That being said, though, our favor is high. The population is good. Oh, we've now got even more things we can go ahead and help with. Oh, more workers, more steel. Okay, so this will get us 30 food. Basic dwellings, pump repair, industry. Okay, so you know what? I think we'll come back with this tomorrow. We'll figure out what we want to do there. I think we're in a pretty good spot. We have a whole stack of food rations, which is just phenomenal. And we've got some really good upgrades headed our way. So if you do want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning into the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan, signing out.